What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today I'm doing my wrap up of the 212s and the Classic Physique from the 2021 Chicago Pro. Just wrapped up basically, and we've got a top 6 we're going to break down in the 212s, and I'm going to break down the top 2 of the Classic as well. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start with the 212s. I'll go through some of the guys at the bottom of the top 6, and then we'll really analyze and go pose for pose on some of the guys in the top 3. So we'll start with Jason Herbert. Now this guy sort of surprised me. Really conditioned, really nice physique, pleasing physique, just overall needs more muscle to place higher than this, but this was a very, very tough lineup as I mentioned in my preview. So Jason Herbert in 6th. In 5th, Oswaldo Gonzalez. Dude has a lot of muscle, basically sort of like a bigger version of Jason, but overall I really like his physique as well. Very, very impressed with him as well, so I'm excited to see what he does in the future, and he's definitely one to watch. In 4th place, John Jewett. Now, this was obviously pretty close top 4 because after prejudging, Ron Harris, who was there for muscular development, he said he had John Jewett winning the show, and he obviously ends up in 4th place. So, unfortunate for John Jewett because it seems like he's been just missing out on certain placings in all these shows, and he sort of gets like the end of where he possibly the lowest he could place. So, John Jewett comes in 4th here. I thought he looked really, really good. I interviewed him just before the show. That interview will actually be up probably just before this video as well. And yeah, he said he was just going to try to come in a few pounds heavier. He did that. I thought he looked really good. I think maybe he just needs an off season or at least a bit of time off the stage to just sort of correct any issues he's had in terms of being maybe slightly flat. Maybe he just needs to fill up in an off-season situation and then come in harder. He does have the Olympia, obviously, that he probably has qualified after this show on points, but he said if he can't improve anymore, then he's not actually going to do that show. So John Jewett in 4th place. In 3rd, Kerrith Bajjo. Now, he's a guy that I sort of made people aware of a little bit before the contest because he came 3rd in the New York Pro a couple of years ago against 2 really good competitors too, Ahmed Elsadany and Eduardo Correa. Looked really, really good here. Probably his all-time best. Maybe even the legs could be a little bit crisper, but overall, very, very impressive. And in most 212 smaller shows like this, he would win most of those shows. So Kerrith Bajjo, very, very impressive in 3rd place. And the top 2, we had Ahmed Elsadany. I picked him in 3rd prior to the show. I contemplated putting him in 2nd. I decided to put John Jewett in there, but he comes in 2nd. Looks spectacular. Could have won the show. Now, I thought it was between Ahmed Elsadany, Kerrith Bajjo, and Keone Pearson for this win. And then I thought John Jewett maybe, possibly. That's how close the top 4 really was. Ahmed brought great color. Love his shape, tiny waist, super tight waist as well, and lots of muscle on his physique. Trained out there, I believe, by the Oxygen Gym guys, and I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And then the winner, Keone Pearson, now he said he's going for first, nothing less at the Olympia. Now, for him to actually win that Olympia, he obviously has won the Chicago Pro back-to-back, hasn't lost a 212 show as yet. For him to win that Olympia, he needs to be harder than this. Just plain facts. Now, I thought he looked really good here, and not saying he didn't deserve the win or anything like that, but at an Olympia level, he needs to be better. And I think he probably knows that as well. So Keone Pearson picks up this win. Had any of these top 4 won it, I probably wouldn't have complained. I probably would have most likely gone for the top 2 the way they were. So the judges did a pretty damn good job. But we're going to go pose by pose and compare Ahmed Elsadany and Keone Pearson. So let's start at the front double bicep. Now, based on structure alone and the way that Ahmed is actually hitting this, he looks like he's pulling his shoulders up. If he dropped his shoulders down and pulled his elbows up, I believe he would probably win this pose because he's got a super tight waist, really big quads as well, just sort of a similar size as Keone, slightly bigger medialis. The outer sweep maybe not quite as much as Keone. Very tight waist, a lot of muscle, but you have to give this one to Keone, even though he's not quite as conditioned. Then you go on to the front lat spread. This one's also very close as well. And I mean, it's sort of a toss up. When you see him statically posing there, you sort of go, oh, okay, I'll give that to Ahmed because he looks a little bit harder. But when Keone's moving and just his structure on that pose is crazy. So I'll give that one to Keone. So Keone's up 2-0. Side chest, I'd say Keone's a little bit thicker here. Ahmed is harder though. Now, Ahmed doesn't have the biggest hamstrings, but they're not bad at all. It's just the fact that I think a lot of these guys in the top 4 had huge hamstrings. Keone's hamstrings have definitely improved overall on this pose. I might give the edge to Keone, but very, very close on that one. So I might just call that one a wash. The back double bicep. Now this one's also very, very close. I'd have to give this one to Ahmed though. His back is just more developed. His glutes pop a little bit more. And I think, you know, while you saw him moving, those glutes were just sort of etched out, you know, like total separation between the hamstring and the glute. So I'd give that one to Ahmed because you look at his delts, you look at his back. I think everything just looks a little bit tighter there. Back lat spread, I'd probably This one's sort of a wash because you look at the back, Keone's super wide across the back, tiny waist, a little bit wider than Ahmed, but Ahmed sort of has him from the waist down there. So that one's sort of a wash as well. Side tricep, I'd give this to Ahmed. I just think he looks a little bit crisper on this one. I think it sort of suits him really well. Ab and thigh, I have to give that to Ahmed. He has one of the best ab and thighs, if not the best, in the 212s right now. And then you go into the most muscular, and I give that one to Ahmed as well. So, I mean, it was a close show. When you see them in motion, obviously you see Keone and the way he poses and everything like that. I think he posed better than Ahmed as well. So I think that's probably what gave him the edge. But it was a very close show. So taking nothing away from Keone's win whatsoever. He was very emotional after the win as well. He was speaking about how he had depression last year, and that's the reason why he pulled out the Olympia. And that hits home for me as well. So for that reason alone, I love to see Keone actually come out on top here, and against all adversity, actually come out on top. And in the 212s, he's won 2 from 2 pro shows. You can't do any better than that. So credit to Keone. He's going to the Olympia, and if he can tighten up a little bit more, he's a chance at winning that 212 Olympia title. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Who should have won this show? Was it Keone Pearson? Was it Ahmed Elsadany? Was it Kerrith Bajjo? Or was it John Jewett? Let me know what you think in the comments below about the 212 results. But going on to the Classic Physique, we'll touch on this one quickly. Uribe, or Uribe, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I know he's from another country. Darwin, he won this show against a very impressive Ahmed Fuka. I don't know how to pronounce that. Fuka, maybe. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that name whatsoever. Now, Ahmed, he was fuller. He was a little bit rounder, a little bit. But conditioning won the day, and Uribe won this one. Very pleasing as well. I love both these guys' physiques too. On the webcast, when you compare it to the actual photos you see off stage, you can see how much better they actually are as well. So I think all these guys were absolutely spectacular. It was a huge lineup as well, and I think Uribe deserved this win, and he's going to be some sort of a contender for that top 10 at the Olympia as well. But let me know what you think in the comments below about the 212s, the Classic. Who should have won? Who did you have winning? And what do you think about the Opens coming up tomorrow? So if you don't want to miss out on any of my coverage of the 2021 Chicago Pro, including the Open Pro Men's Bodybuilding, which is on tomorrow this time, and also I have a pre-judging wrap-up of that one as well, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, most importantly, subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills, at Desktop Bodybuilding, including all my 2021 Chicago Pro coverage. So for Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.